Okay, we should be live. Just going to check my audio and we'll get started. Come on. And we'll get started. Okay, looks like we're good. So I'll mute that. I'm down here. Alright. Hey guys, welcome back. Just got a bunch of random stuff open here. Hope you guys had a wonderful evening. It is now the next day, in terms of this, I guess, video series. And, currently, it is 12 p.m. Slept in today, took a shower, had something to eat, and now I'm ready to go. Really want to get another thing knocked out on this plugin. So last time we worked on a bit of the chat command. We did the info channel command, and I had mentioned that we should probably work on the sort of what happens when a player joins the server based on what the channels are doing. And that's decently simple. So we've already, well, I say it's simple, but you know, nothing's ever that simple. So we have our join listener, which has some random things in it that actually I don't think we even need to use the configuration manager. I'll leave it there for now, just in case. But we're most likely going to remove that because we need to work on some things. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Yes, we do need the configuration manager. And we do need the player. So we are doing well with this system here. So when a player joins the server, one of two things is going to be the case. The first case would be that they've never joined before, and they are not a part of any chat channels. They're just simply within, or they don't have a file in the player data YML file. So, and then I guess the second one would be that they do have one, and that we have to add them to the specific channels that they are looking at. Now, just thinking about that, how is that going to work? So we have permissions for did I come up with permissions? Where was I just now? I was in join listener. So we didn't really do permissions, but we're gonna need a subscribe and an unsubscribe permission. And switching channel permission, and some stuff like that. Are we going to rely on the player data file for everything? I guess maybe we could do a player manager that manages every player and what their current what their current stuff, or what they're doing, like what channels they're in, Hmm. Because basically when someone chats, we're going to need a way to determine who's going to get that chat message. So we kind of need to loop through a list of players Yeah, I think a chat manager and a player manager might be. But then do we want a channel manager? Because so far we've been managing channels just by the main chat here, loading channels here. And really, perhaps we should have a channel manager. Because what if the player wants to... Yeah, I think we should have a channel manager. So I think maybe we should work on that first. So that would be in the utilities. Channel manager. So in our channel manager class, the channel manager is going to have the array list of channels. It's basically going to be all of this. Actually, cancel that. Let's do public void load channels. And then in there is where we would do this. And then we also need config manager equals crew chat dot get instance dot get configuration manager. And we can also do crew chat get instance for that, and then channels would be this. Oops, where am I? What did I just do? There we go. Oh, apparently we weren't able to install updates. Interesting. Sorry. Sound like an engine trying to start. Why is this still needed? where are we using that? We're not. Are we? Get channels. Because in the chat command we use that. Okay. So we need, this should be private. And then we're also going to do private channel manager, and we'll do channel manager equals new channel manager, like that. Why does that need the plugin instance? I don't know, but this one doesn't. And then channel manager dot load channels. So that will run that command. So we've loaded the channels. Now we need a constructor for this. Public config manager. That is not what I wanted. Doesn't take anything in. Doesn't return anything. There is no return type required. What are we talking about? And then this so we should do channels equals new array list and config manager equals crewchat.getInstance.getConfiguration manager, and we remove these from, or we turn this into this and this into this. Now why am I doing a constructor wrong? Where's something else that has a constructor? Right here. Did I? Well, that's not correct, but, and this should also be private. But why are we not having? Oh, it's not a config. It's a channel manager. There we go. So when you create the channel manager object, all it's doing is looking at the configuration and creating a new array list for the channels. And then when you load the channels, we now have that. And then what we need to do in crew chat is change this get channels to public channel manager, like that. And then in here, where did it go? Channels. So we want private channel manager equals dot get channel manager, like that. And then down here we're gonna do channel manager dot, oh, we need a method for that. Public array list channel get channels dot get channels. Jeez. So that fixes that, and then back in here, this is now useless, so we can remove that, and then that should make this useless, so we can remove this. And then in the channel manager, that's correct. The chat manager is all correct. And that means that we now have a channel manager, and we can add methods to that. For example, the reload command now should, oh my god, lots of messages coming in. So it's reloading the configuration, and then we want reload all configs. Let's do channel manager equals new, or equals crew chat dot get instance dot get channel manager, and then in here channel manager dot load channels. Don't think we need a reload command per se. Yes, we do. We do need a reload. Very similar to what we have. Public void, and I'll explain why as we do it. Reload channels, and so we basically want this in here. But the one thing that we're going to do is, why is this dot channels? We don't need this there anymore. Same up here. We need to see what's gonna happen if we were to just run load channels again. It just adds the channel to the already existing array list. So we need to wipe the array list. Now I don't know if channels dot, is there anything to clear? Yeah, that's probably what we want, right? Clear, remove all, remove if, replace all, retain all, set, sort, split to array. Yeah, so we're gonna do the clear command here, like that. And that will do the same thing. Actually, we can do this even smarter. We can do load channels. How's that for a fancy little thing there? So basically what we're doing is we're doing channels.clear, and then we're running the load channels internally. I feel smart. I love when I like figure something stupid out like that, and I think I'm like the coolest guy for doing that. But anyway, so from there we're gonna go back to our channel manager here, and or not our channel manager, sorry. We're going to our chat command. No. What were we looking at just now? Join listener? No. Where was I? The reload command in the crew chat command. We're gonna do reload, and that way it reloads them. So we're gonna test that because that's important that we understand what's going on. So cc reload. And then C info channel. Did we make a thing to list channels? I don't think we did we? I'm not sure. Info channel. No. The only two commands we've done is for a specific channel, and yeah, we should also have a channels command. Where is my notepad file here? Oh. Chat info would show all channels. That's fine. We can do that. For some reason that printer in the background is going off. Okay, so that works. That's good. Or it works as far as I can tell. So we're fine with that. So now we should have everything cleaned up. Our main is all fine. Yeah, okay. So the next thing that we want to do is we want a... Do we want a player manager? We do want a player manager, don't we? So the channel manager is just responsible for a few things right now. It may be responsible for more things later, like setting channel information and whatnot, and reporting that back to configuration sections. But the player manager is going to be what's managing the player data file, and so we will need that player manager. So in here we need a constructor first off. So public player manager, and then doesn't take anything in, but we do need to do our configuration manager. So configuration manager, config manager. I'm gonna put this thing on silent. It's being annoying. how much did I sleep today? I think I went to bed at like 2, and then I woke up at 10:30. There we go. I like to keep track of my sleep. And then config manager equals new, or crew chat dot get instance dot get configuration manager. That's all we have in there for now. So back to our join listener here. When a player joins, we need to determine if they're in the player list already or not, which means that back to our player manager, we need a method that will tell us whether or not the player exists. So public boolean player exists. I feel like we should also, before we even return true, just to get rid of that, we should have a load players command. So, or method, public void load players. And within there, we're basically going to do the same thing that we did with the channels, just with the players. So if we look at the channel manager, we look at config.yml. With the player manager, we're going to be looking at the player data.yml. So I'm going to start off with this. And yeah, we want that, but this is going to be player data. And then in my player data file, we actually do not have anything at the moment. I don't even think it's there, is it? It should be. Do I have that still open? Yes, I do. Okay, so let's edit that with Notepad. So we need to edit our default config for that because it's currently just some test config. Crew chat player data. Players, and that's all we need is that. And then that's good. So the other thing that I'd like to do, we can close out of player data and we can delete that file. Back in here, so we load that, and then if I'm hitting Alt-Tab too much, channel manager, no. How did I clicked on channel manager, did I not? And then get configuration section is the last part of this command right here, and we're gonna be looking at players like that. And we're gonna call this players config, like that. And then again, hitting Alt-Tab, thinking it's gonna go back to the other thing here. We're basically going to do this again. So I'm going to copy this over to the player manager, and we're going to change this to players config .get keys, and then can I get a player from a UUID? Or do we just want to load? How do we do this? load based on UUIDs. Channel equals new channel key. So that's just doing that. So the key in this case is our UUID. So first thing to do is look at the UUID. Compare to equals from string. Okay, cool. Creates a UUID from the string. So UUID dot from string key. So we're gonna go UUID equals like that, and then actually player equals player dot. Is there a way to get a player from a UUID? Player equals get player. Oh, wait. So we need sort of a helper method for this. Private player Oh, interesting. So we can't actually... Oh, we can get offline players. So loading the players... would just mean UUIDs, would it not? I guess. So we don't really... So... Private. This should also be private. Why do I... Private array list, and then that should be of type UUID. UUID list, and then UUID list equals new array list, like that. And then within here we can do UUID list dot add UUID dot from string key, like that, and just remove this. And that's, I believe, all we care about with the player list. So I'm actually gonna remove all of that and just do one line. So what that's doing is just, it is going to create a list of UUIDs from what's in there. And then this one down here would be very much the same. Well, sort of. Now that we have that UUID list, we can do for UUID, UID, UUID list, if UUID dot, I need the let's leave that open. UUID dot equals object compares the this object to the specified, compares the UUID with the specified UUID. No, we don't want that. We want, we want an equals dot equals player, whoops, player exists, player dot equals player dot get unique ID. Return true, else return false. That should work, right? Or would that not work? Because otherwise it would, yeah, just the order in which things go. So now we have our player exists, and we need to do our load players within the main class here. Private player manager, we'll do that. So we have our player manager, and then we need a load players. Guess we should do a capital C and a capital P. Player manager equals new player manager. Player manager dot load players, and then public player manager, like that. Channel manager, player manager, messages, join listener. So when a player joins, we need to determine if the player, if player manager, I feel like these should be just implemented, not, they should be up here. Or do we want them in a constructor? Public join listener. Config manager equals crew chat dot get instance dot get configuration manager. Player manager equals crew chat dot get instance dot player manager, and then we can just get rid of this line here. I don't know if it even needs the configuration manager, but we'll leave it for now. If player manager dot player exists player, then we're gonna do some things. Else we're gonna do some other things. So if they don't exist, I already know that we just have to add them to the to everything. So I think we actually would prefer to have a channel manager. So private channel manager channel manager equals crew chat dot get instance dot get channel manager. No, yes, yeah, sorry. So when they're not a member, we need to add them within the player manager. Public void add player. And then okay, thinking. So when you add a player, should all of this get set with it, or should we do that separately? I guess it should happen all at once, but I don't know how to get the active channel. So on my server, there are going to be two different groups, and depending on what group you're in will depend on what active channel or what channel is default active. So maybe we need a permission for that, for the active channel, like a default active permission. Crew chat dot default dot or should it be auto, or because we have the auto subscribe, we have so if you had a default active channel, that would mean that if they don't have, then when they join by default, they would have that channel active, I guess. Active.channel description sets new player default player's active channel. Yeah. So adding a player, you would have to have active channel and then subscribe channels, and that should be it. String array and then back in our join listener, we need to do, we need to look at permissions first. If player dot has permission crew chat jeez, that's hard. Dynamic permissions. we need to kind of look at that. So I'm thinking about how we might want to go about figuring out permissions, because you kind of have to loop through the channels. So for channel in the channel manager dot get channels, if player dot has permission crew chat dot default dot active dot plus channel dot get name then active channel, we need a string active channel equals channel dot get name. And then from there, what we need to do is so you have their active channel now. We just need their subscribed channels, or their auto subscribed channels, but that's taking a look at and then string array or array list of type string subscribed channels like that, so that matches. And then we also need if channel dot is auto subscribe, ActiveChannels.add channel.getName. Like that. Then, that's after the for loop here, and we want to do player manager dot add player active channel subscribed channels. Might not have been initialized. Else active channel equals null. Does that fix you? No, that's not right. So then in our player manager, we're first going to do if active channel equals null, crew chat dot get instance dot get logger dot in or dot error. We have info finest severe, warning, or do we want severe warning? Oh, we also need their UUID. Oh. Here we go. Thinking about how I want to structure this message. Player dot get name player dot get name could not be added, check permissions, something like that. Else we're gonna do a bunch of stuff. So now we need to figure out, we need this again. Players config dot where'd the create section player dot hang on, did I miss something? No, I didn't. Get UUID or get unique ID dot toString. Does that have a return? Yeah, it returns a configuration section. Configuration section player config. There you go. And then player config dot create section is it, where did I do this? Active channel player config dot set active channel and active channel and then player config dot create section subscribe channels oh, I need a configuration section thing. Just looking here to see the methods of configuration section. Taking a look here. I'm trying to figure out how to... I'm pretty sure that's a thing that's possible. I just need to figure out how to do it. Get string list. Use a set instead of a list. Interesting. So we have a set. We can create a section based on a map. Add default contains get boolean list. These are all gets. Is there no way to do what happens when I do subscribe? Oops. Subscribe channel channels like that. So I kind of want to see what this does. I don't know if this is gonna run though. We may just get crashes. Yep. Load players. Where is that? That's in player manager, load players. So it's actually, we can cancel this because I didn't even add a listener to the main class, but load players. It doesn't like this. If players config dot let's see what that does. No. What does the false mean? The get keys thing. Just for sanity's sake, let's just delete this file again. That's so odd. Oh, it didn't put the players thing in. Why did that not? Huh? I don't understand. Why did it not? Why did it not put that in? What? That literally makes no sense. Why can I not have that there? Because it's an empty value? Let's ask the experts. Well, I think what we're gonna do is, since it's almost an hour and a half long video, we'll cut it here and I'll come back once I figure this out and we'll start episode 7. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.